Go to item 10, reconvene from executive session at 8:02 PM. Item 11, discussion and possible action regarding parent-student level 3 grievances. We are now back in open session. No action was taken in closed session. At this time, the board will act regarding the parental appeal of the mandatory DAE placement. Mr. Gateway, do you have a recommendation?
Yes, ma'am. I recommend that the board uphold and affirm the mandatory DEP placement as required by the Texas Education Code.
Do we have a motion, or do we have any questions?
I'll make that motion to approve as presented the action regarding the parent-student level 3 grievance.
Okay, we have a motion by Kirby. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Have a second by Donald. All in favor? Motion carries. Got to item number 12, consent agenda. Did anybody have any questions on the consent agenda or need any explanation on any of the legal policy changes, policy update 126?
I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Have a motion by Greg. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Amber. All in favor? Motion carries. Go to item number 13, consider approval of the 26-27 multi-region co-op agreement. Tina?
Can y'all hear me? Hi, I'm just here to kind of explain a little bit about the Region 10 co-op agreement. This agreement has been within districts. In fact, I don't know any district that is not with the multi-region co-op agreement. We've been with them for at least 30 years. But what they do for us is they help us procure, they help us get bids ready for when we go out for bid each year, because the bids have to be reestablished each year. In some circumstances, they can roll over for 1 year. But Region 10 Co-op does not charge us a thing. It is free of charge, and they help all districts. The only thing now is, over the last few years, the reason y'all probably even started hearing anything about it was because now they require that it go through the board and that the board approve it. So that's the purpose of that. This helps us get better buying power. They actually do technical support. They do training for child nutrition, all kinds of compliance training. It also gives us more buying power when buying products. So it is a great service that they do for us for free. And in fact, the burden where the charges come in is for every vendor that wants to be a part of Region 10 Co-op, for us to buy products from them. They are the one that pays Region 10 Co-op. At the end of every year, any money left that the co-op did not need, they actually divide it up and give it to all districts. I think we just received almost $2,000 back in a rebate. We never paid them a penny. So that's the purpose of this, and I'll be having to do this every year. So, any questions?
Yeah. Any
I do.
questions?
With this agreement, does it force you to use those vendors, or if you can find something on your own, you happen to know, whatever,
If
do you have
find-
to use their vendors?
Yeah, you have to use their vendors,
You
but
can't
they're
go outside of those vendors.
Yeah, I don't know. We have never went outside of vendors. I don't know a school district that does go outside. And to do that, you'd have to hire a whole new child nutrition to work with that, just doing bidding. Because what the Region 10 Co-op does, when they send out an RFP bid, then everybody that wants to, every vendor, whether it be, Benny Keith, any of the vendors out there, Labatt, they can all turn in their bids, and then we have to still be a part, myself has to be a part of the scoring. All of the bids come back in, and then all child nutrition directors have to be there to help Region 10 do the scoring. So we are just as much involved as they are, other than they write up the RFPs. They go by USDA and TDA guidance as far as meal pattern, the things that a child nutrition program can purchase and cannot purchase. They actually take a big burden off of school districts by getting that much done.
But they're not if you want to order from Buy Board, you can still order from Buy Board.
Yes.
I mean,
Oh,
it's
yes,
not,
sir.
they don't say
Yes,
you
sir.
have to use them. They're
Yes,
just
sir.
a great resource
Yes, sir.
to mix with other resources
Yes,
that you
sir.
have. Yeah.
Yes.
That was your question? Yeah.
Yes. And basically, the reason now that they want board approval is they want the board to know that they're doing this service for districts. And basically, we're agreeing that we will let them help us do the service. So that's basically what the purpose of the coming to you guys is for.
Any other questions? No, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve, the 26-27 multi-region co-op.
Motion by Amber, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by
Thank you guys
Kirby.
very much, and Merry Christmas.
Thank you, you too. All in favor? Motion carries. Go to item 14, consider approval of purchase of student Chromebooks. Mr. Hudson?
Good evening. Making a recommendation for approval to spend $30,000 on student Chromebooks. That's the amount that was budgeted for purchasing student devices this year. All the bids we got were from vendors that are a part of purchasing co-ops, so all bids were competitively bid, and we're able to get about $200 a device. So $30,000 gets us 150 devices, which will get us about 5 years worth of use out of the devices.
And these are students. Last month was students.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? No? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
A motion by Amber. Do we have a second? Have a second by Joe. All in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Got item 15, consider approval of public safety data sharing agreement between Johnson County law enforcement agencies and Venus ISD Police Department.
Good evening again. So this document, as you remember, we moved from our CAD and RMS system, which is our report management system, and our dispatching system this school year. And it's a lot cheaper for us. And everybody in the county went to this program, Soma Global. So now, in order for us to be able to, for each agency in Johnson County to be able to see other agencies and what they're doing and access their reports or their offenders or witnesses or any kind of documentation or anything else that we retrieve in our system, they can retrieve it now, but we have to have this agreement between every agency. So every agency is taking us to either their school board or their city council to get this approved and everything else to where we can see each other's calls and everything else in our information.
Would this not fall under interlocal agreements? Like, wouldn't it be an interlocal agreement, or is it just a specific data sharing agreement?
With this being more, how do I want to say it, more secured information, it's got to be on a separate agreement because we're sharing criminal histories, we're sharing license plates, everything else. So.
Is there any downside to it?
No, it's all upside. I mean, we can share information. If I have an issue with somebody here and I run their name and another agency in the county has dealt with that person recently or local, then if I have to go to their house, I can say, okay, we know what's going on at their house before and stuff like that too.
So that brings up, so if we have a situation here where a law has been committed, a law has been broken by a student that normally stays specific to us. So now Venus PD or another PD would have access to that information. Is that something they have to request access to, or is it just they just get it automatically?
No, even if we were to arrest somebody, that information is out there from them already. They just wouldn't be able to review our report to look and see what kind of situation, say they ran across a victim of it and now somebody's retaliating against them or something else. Now, there are certain situations that we can restrict who can receive that. Say if we have an employee or something else like that, we can restrict who has access to that.
Any other questions? No? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the public safety data sharing agreement between Johnson County and law enforcement.
Motion by Amber,
Second.
second by Joe. All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you, Chief. Go to item 16, consider approval of local policy changes as listed in policy update 126, and Mr. Gatewood is going to read every single one of them.
Actually, ma'am, I did go and read through all 86 pages of them, and I just summed them up here. Start with our board and governance meetings. It's just basically some of the stuff we're already doing. It said meetings must now be recorded, which we're already doing. It added in roll call option. It's okay to still vote like you still do, but you added a roll call option that is added. One of the things they did on the roll call, like say for instance here, if you voted on something and one of the board members voted no, you have to record that person's name in the minutes who voted no. It also talks about public comments. Instead of we do it second now, it has to occur at the start of meetings, so public comments have to go back to being first. It also talks about if you are a sex offender, you're ineligible to serve as a trustee. Personnel HR, sum those up. It talks about vacancy postings were reduced from 10 days to 5 school days. We have to do expanded background checks. And it also talks about different stuff about DEI that we can't cover classroom instructions on DEI. We're no longer allowed to do that. We never did to begin with. It's just putting in writing that we cannot. Curriculum instruction also talks about the parents. Here's something new, that the parents and anybody have the authority to challenge a material. Like say if they see your kid comes home and you don't feel that classroom material is on grade level, you can challenge that material. Just something I covered with the principals already to ensure that we stick with the high quality instructional materials that the board approve, because you're utilizing something from teacher-paid teacher, someone can challenge that resource. So just be careful with that. Also, it talks about safety and security, talks about just what you have to report child abuse within 24 hours. Now that is something new. If child abuse does occur, we have to be, that window is now 24 hours. It's also talked about some technology and some artificial intelligence, some changes with that there. It also talks about the facilities and health options such as the three-point seat belts that's on buses that we're working through right now in our transportation department, and requiring the 10 Commandments law, which we're already doing within our schools. All the 10 Commandments are posted already, just some of the things we're already doing. It talks about board meetings. Board meetings, it says they must be posted 3 business days prior, but we're already doing that before. We're 72 hours, now it's 3 business days. We're actually making it about 4 to 5, so we're well ahead of the curve. Again, that just sums up a lot of the different things there. It was 86 pages of them, but if anybody has any questions about any one in particular, I can expand on it.
I don't have a question about anyone in particular, but probably this is the largest number of applicable changes I've seen. There's always those rote changes that are just meaningless. Basically, there's something in the accounting office or something like that, but there are more in this legislature that apply directly to principals and teachers.
Yes, sir.
Have we developed any kind of, I don't want to say training program, but a way to maybe sit down instead of just saying, hey, read all 82 pages? Have we set up something where we sit down with the administrators and just like talk them through to say we really understand? Because some of these are legal.
Yes, sir.
24 hours or there's a penalty.
Yes, sir. That's a great question. What I did, just to be honest with you here, I read through all 86 pages of this again, and then I developed the cliff notes for each one of the campus principals, and I sent them a copy of that to read over. And when we come back on that first day, we will go over these in detail. But I did give them ahead of time. I do have a copy of the cliff notes, and it just started with sequestering myself in my office and reading through all 86 pages of it, because there are quite a few things in there.
And they're applicable. I mean, they're not
Yes, sir.
things that are backed by penalties and laws. And
Yes, sir.
mind-blowing. So, thank you, legislature.
Anybody have any questions? No? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve these changes as presented.
Motion by Greg, second by Amber. All in favor? Motion carries. Go to item 17, approval of Venus ISD Secretary to the Board, Administrative Assistant to the Superintendent, and other designees to receive candidates' application for place on the May 2nd, 2026 general election ballot at the district's regular place of business. It's to give Secretary to the Board, Administrative Assistant to the Superintendent, and other designees to receive the applications for people for the board.
Okay.
Yeah. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the Venus ISD Secretary to the Board, Administrative Assistant to the Superintendent.
I
I-
second it.
Oh, and other designees to receive candidates, applicants.
And
And then
second by Greg? Is that right? Greg,
Yes.
did you second?
Yes, I did.
Okay. All in favor?
Did Amber vote?
Huh? Amber, yeah, she made the motion. Item 18, approval of the notice of deadline to file an application for place on the ballot for the May 2nd, 2026 general election. Should we have the deadline date on here or no?
That's what I was fixing to ask. What is the deadline date?
Oh, 2/13, okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the notice of deadline to file application as of 2/13 to be placed on the ballot for the general election.
Motion by Amber, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Donald? Did you second?
Of course.
Second by Donald. All in favor? Motion carries. Item 19, consider approval of matters related to personnel. We don't have anything there, correct? For 19. Item 20, reports. Mr. Gitwood.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, Board President and trustees and community members. First of all, I want to thank the board for your continued leadership and support, and I want to recognize the hard work of our staff and our students across the districts. As always, our focus remains doing what is best for kids while ensuring we remain fiscally responsible and compliant and forward-looking as a growing district. Some of the things I want to highlight, first of all, is student and campus highlights. Academic focus. Campuses continue to do continued targeted efforts that's aligned the data for recent assessments. Intervention and enrichment opportunities are ongoing to ensure student growth at all levels. Again, we don't want just students to do intervention. We also want to do that enrichment to show our students that are at the top, that are already achieving high, they grow also. Student achievement, we're proud of our students, as you saw many tonight here, in extracurricular activities, whether in academics, athletics, fine arts, and extracurricular programs. They continue to flourish, and the success reflects the commitment of our teachers, coaches, and our sponsors. One of the biggest things I want to highlight about students here, I know the campus principals covered attendance here, but this year our attendance is 95.19%, which is up 0.36% from last year. Just to give you an idea, the state usually hovers around 93%. So we're doing quite well. Our kids are getting to school, and that number is up across all campuses. Some of our staff in operations, yes, sir.
Just off the top of your head, have you figured the financial impact of 0.36% approval in attendance?
No, I have not, sir.
There's a lot of people just don't know how much money that is.
Yes, sir.
By improving a third of a percent is still
It's quite a bit, yes, sir. We're hovering quite a bit, so I'm very proud of our students who are getting to school, because obviously when students attend school more, the better they do academically, the better they do socially when they're in school. So we want them here as much as possible. I also want to go ahead, make sure I recognize our teachers and our principals and our support staff for maintaining those high expectations while balancing the many demands of this year. This time of year. This time of year is crazy, but our students, they're rising to the occasion. Our staff members are rising to the occasion, and they're staying focused on students, and they're keeping their foot on the gas pedal, and I'm proud of them. I want to also talk about personnel updates. We continue to focus on recruiting and retaining high-quality staff while ensuring personnel actions remain aligned with board policy and state requirements. One of the things I want to highlight to you, like for instance here, the district to the south of us, they have 6 special education aid vacancies. We have 1. So I know there's turnover, but we are doing quite well in recruiting and retaining people, just in comparison. Just some district's initiatives, instructional improvement. The district leadership continues to monitor campus improvement and efforts in alignment to state standards and improving our Tier 1 instruction, which is our classroom instruction, which is our building blocks. Intervention doesn't work, or enrichment doesn't work if that Tier 1, that classroom instruction is not good. We're also focused on bringing in that teacher incentive allotment. We do have a steering committee formed. We're focusing on developing an observation tool that will be utilized. Submission date is in April. We're still targeting towards that. The teacher incentive allotment is a way to reward our staff members and getting more money in their hands. It's a way to get people as close to 6 figures as possible. They get Like I say, at the highest level, staff members can get almost a $32,000 check rewarded in August, which is quite a bit of accomplishment. Yes, sir. Paid by the state, not paid by the district. That is paid by the state. Head Start. We recently held a meeting on December 11th to continue that Head Start. They came, they measured the classrooms, they looked at the playground needs, they talked to Mrs. Ortiz, they talked to Peems. Their next step is to figure out how many students from the Venus community would qualify to go to this here particular program. So that is where we're at, and once that has been explored, we'll develop an MOU that I'll present to the board. Finance and stewardship, as presented tonight, the district continues to operate within our approved budget, which I'm really proud of. We're not, some districts, you have to constantly come back and ask for budget amendments. Since serving as a superintendent, I don't think we've asked for a budget amendment, so I'm very proud of that. So we closely monitor our expenditures and revenues. Just remaining that always steadfast, this is taxpayer money that we spend here and being responsible for it. I'm going to finish with community support. I want to also highlight some things that we're allowed to go out in the community to do. There's numerous events, again, they collaborate with us, such as events such as the Pancakes with Santa, the Miss Christmas pageant, and the Christmas on the Square. That's just to name a few things. We constantly have students and staff members at numerous events throughout the community. So I'm very thankful for that. And that's all I have, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Vega?
I think I got the button figured out. Hello, board. Nice to see you all tonight. Okay, so just some kind of updates on what I've been out and about doing. So I completed PLC observations at the middle school and the elementary. Of course, I've been in a lot of high school PLCs, even previous to this role. Haven't made it to primary yet. But really what I found there was, again, just reinforcement of that need for some PLC structures and systems. And so I was glad to get to be in the PLC, see what was currently happening, so we can make a plan to move forward. We had our district leadership team meeting in November, which Mr. Gatewood and I kind of led together, and we really focused on high expectations through a couple of studies, one called the Opportunity Myth, the other called the Opportunity Makers, and really talked about how we develop consistency around our content, basically what we're delivering to students in the classroom, our collaboration, how teachers and leaders are working together, and then our reinforcement. How do we monitor and hold people accountable for what we're asking them to do? So out of that, we talked about the need for systems and structures, and then what key leadership moves we need to take in order to make that happen. So really trying to move kind of that theory into action. And so that informed some common themes of PLC structures and protocols again, lesson internalization when we're using our high quality instructional materials, how are teachers internalizing those lessons, and then just the consistency needed in the use of our district approved materials. I also held a PLC workshop with the C&I department to kind of flesh that out even more. I had my coaching with my TIL coach from ESC Region 11, Miss Rachel Bradley, and we again focused on, guess what, PLC structures and systems, because without those, we can't really implement DDI, which is what she's coaching us on, and so she worked through that with me. I've also begun coaching cycles with teachers. So I have one teacher at the elementary that I've engaged in two coaching cycles with in a critical need area, and she was able to implement her action step that she was delivered, and I went back and observed her, and it was really, really great. And so I have a follow-up with her this week. So my goal will be to engage in coaching cycles with a teacher at each campus, and then I can serve as a model for the principals and how they continue to close that feedback loop, right? Like we do a lot of walkthroughs, but are we making it all the way back around with an action step and that continuous improvement? It should help us foster this culture of growth, right? Like we all can grow, and it ultimately will help students. So that's my goal there. I know we talked last time about the need for like kind of next steps. So we have the PLC system and structures pretty fleshed out. And so my goal will be to roll that out to principals in January, or campus administrators in January, including some internalization protocols. And then our goal would be to roll that out to teachers by the end of January. So that puts us about 2 months before STAR, and so we'll be working hard to like shore all that up so that teachers have what they need to help students be successful. Any questions?
What is PLC?
Professional learning community. Yeah, good question.
What is DDI?
Data-driven instruction. So DDI is what we do with Region 11, but basically it's a data meeting through a PLC. We have two acronyms in one. And so she's working specifically with the high school. But data is definitely a component of the structure that we're trying to put in place. So basically, because we have the wonderful gift of having that PLC, that professional learning community, every day of the week. The need for like those systems where what exactly are we talking about and what are we doing so that we're making the most use of that time. Thank you for asking that, Mr. Book. Any other questions? Okay, thanks.
Any requests for anything else? No? Okay, so we will adjourn at 8:28 p.m.